Coming tonight to show your love and support for Lizzie. She's here in every story, memory, and thought that we share together. She's here as you enjoy the art. She's here as you enjoy the amazing lizard pastries. She's here as we stand 15 minutes in line for the bar. That was improv. All right. So, I just wanted to tell you all that Lizzie was an amazing person. And something I said to her thousands of times over the last 15 years was what a woman. Thousands of times. Lizzie was not a big fan of me saying what a woman. She was kind of annoyed by it. I think she thought it was corny. Even more so, I think she was embarrassed by it because she was a very modest person. What made Lizzie so special was that she was a rare combination of traits that would typically seem to be in contrast. She was a true natural beauty, but she was humble and would never call herself pretty, although I was always sure to tell her that she was, in fact, a knockout. She was intelligent and she never stopped learning, but she could never seem to find her phone.
She never could.
She was adventurous and she was spontaneous, a little crazy sometimes, but she was very deliberate and she always seemed to have a plan.
Oh.
Lizzie was a little bit crunchy and she was an environmentalist and a naturalist, but she also didn't mind enjoying the finer things from time to time. She didn't exactly yell at me to take back her new SUV that was parked in the driveway one Christmas morning. She was patient, she was compassionate, and she was caring. She was an amazing teacher, an amazing mommy. But she was also assertive and she had deep-rooted values that she would protect and she would fight fiercely for. In other words, what a woman. Or as Lizzie would say, I'm a Gemini. I would urge, you know what a Gemini is. All right, well, I'll tell you. I would urge you all to read the Tecumseh quote that's on the back of Lizzie's prayer card. You saw that? I found this quote posted in her About Me on Facebook that she probably put there 20 years ago, because nobody does that anymore. But I think it captures her life and her death perfectly. We're angry that cancer robbed Lizzie of so much life, but I also couldn't be more proud and happy of the legacy that she leaves as a daughter, a sister, a wife, a mother, and a friend. The very best parts of Lizzie live on in our children. You can see one of them here. Eli is an empath, and he's intelligent, kind, and he's loyal. Ava is lively, funny, fantastical, and she loves to be in nature. You put them together and you get a perfect Lizzie. Lizzie talked a lot about loving her life, and she made it a point not to take things for granted. A cancer diagnosis is a paradox because it provides time to reflect and mourn while you are still here. Lizzie's true nature shone in her last year. She cared more about how her death would affect others than she did about how her time was being cut short, and that's the truth. She showed toughness and never stopped fighting. Ultimately, she was comforted by all the people that she got to know and the places she was able to experience, but she was saddened by the thought of all that she would miss out on. One of Lizzie's last wishes was to have a few special people carry some of her ashes with them on their adventures, and we are making that happen. And I know that one of us sang, "Hey, don't forget Lizzie," before leaving for the airport will surely make her smile. My dad passed away last summer. This is improv too, sorry. And he wanted to be shot up in fireworks, and we made that happen too. Shout out Rob Taft if he's here. So I don't know what it is with all these. We're making it happen. So at the end, Lizzie wished for just one more normal day. She made this wish not selfishly or out of fear, but so that she could lift up and hug Eli and Ava. Recently, I've been thinking that maybe now she is getting that day. In our lives, signs are showing up everywhere, and I have heard for many of you the same is true. As I was finishing her obituary, I closed my eyes and saw an image of Lizzie in nature, walking over a valley and whispering, "Wow." Literally seconds later, one of her oldest and best friends, Allie, texted me a 10-year-old video from Yosemite of Lizzie doing that exact thing. The week before Lizzie passed away, she told me that Eli was going to win a ribbon in drive, chip, and putt, which is a huge deal for us and our family. He won the driving competition, but only because of a wayward drive that somehow stayed in bounds and seemed to bounce off of thin air and back into play. No joke. And he got his ribbon. There have been butterflies, clouds, geysers, granola, and countless other signs. And as a teacher of psychology, when I step back and think about these signs, my brain tells me to attribute them to coincidence or bias. But my heart tells me that they are real. And if it's real in my heart, then that's real enough for me. And I hope now and then, as you live your lives, that Lizzie will send you a sign and let you know that she is there. And you will feel it in your heart and it will be real. And maybe you can even whisper to yourself, what a woman. Thank you for coming, and please stay for as long as you